Levels are good?
Word. Yeah, everything looks okay.
All
I still gotta
right.
switch to fucking, what's it called at some point? XSplit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick some other night and do a non-show.
Yeah. Actually, maybe this weekend might work.
It might work.
Oh, you got the kids, right?
Oh, I do. Yes, and I was at the Patriots game on Sunday.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, this weekend's kind of the
That's kinda
chaotic
shitty for you,
weekend.
that's what I figured. Holla.
Holla, 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 holla. Let me get my chat squared away here.
Oh, yeah,
and
I should
my,
probably do my pop-outs.
yeah, I'm gonna love the pop-outs.
Pop-outs.
I'm gonna pop out the video. And that is popped out. We're going to pop out the Java updater. What do we say to the Java update?
Suck
Not
money.
today.
Any dicks.
Yes. Fuck that. Share. I might as well do my little tweet out. Boom, tweet. Oh, yeah. And it actually remembered me 2 weeks in a row.
I know.
Who
I am as well remembered. I wasn't last week, and now I am. So what the fuck's going on?
Well, these guys are pro now. They finally learned how...
Get their shit together. How internets work. How session management works.
it's
Yeah,
it's really like...
learn how to do
quality
session
now.
management now.
All right, videos popped out, chats popped out. Just gonna move these around the screen a little bit.
Yeah, you could pop it out, Blue. Like if you could pop it out into like its own little window if you want. There's like a little thing at the bottom next to the video player where you can just kind of pop. Like it helps us because we don't need the whole giant ass screen.
Yeah, we have enough shit on our screens.
If you look at my monitor, I was gonna say how can I show myself, but I really can't because it'd be like Inception. Maybe I can.
yeah, we've done that before.
We've done that one before. I got my gold iPhone finally.
Oh, look at you,
Yeah, pimping like a boss.
big pimping.
You know, I do is I get an app that has like a round clock on it, and I wear it like Flavor Flav.
Nice on a big ass chain.
That's right.
Big
I
ass
can actually
chains.
show. I think. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Oh god, this fucking cable they give you. See, so I got like this monitor.
Wow, look at
I'm
you.
all shaky. With all those monitors for all the screens, then Derek and Skype over here, and then over here, I've got the show notes, and then I pop out the video on Twitch, and then I talk to you guys over here. That's how we roll.
Oh, look, people get an inside scoop on the outline.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I know it, leaking to the internet. Oh, wait, no one gives a shit.
Oh, yes. All right. And I got vodka. I have Diet Mountain Dew. I got a Mick Ultra.
Mick Ultra. I'm sticking with the rum and cokes again.
That's because you're a Coke addict.
I am a coke addict. I can't help it.
And then...
Love them shits. God, it's
Got
fucking
that
hot as
there.
balls in this goddamn condo. Christ.
Oh, there's where I can see me. And you just have me on video there. So that's why I only see me. I was all confused.
Oh, I wonder if I did. Did I do the fucking titles? I hope I did.
We're only
did.
like 2 minutes late.
I did.
It's a peek behind the secret room here, kids.
That's right.
This is how the wizard fucking handcrafts Oz every day.
Yeah, Blue. If you have dual monitors, it's cool. If you don't, then the pop out's like mandatory. You gotta have the pop out.
Yeah. Pop outs are pro.
I still have the pop out even with the dual monitor. I'm thinking about getting a third monitor actually.
Yeah, I would need to go desktop to up my monitor count, I think.
You know, at work, I'm sure you have the same thing. Don't you have like the dock where you work on your laptop, but you have the extra monitor that you reference?
Oh, no, we have all full-blown PCs at work.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but I have dual displays there, and
Right.
then I bring my own laptop, and I have that next to that, and I use...
use that. That's right.
Whatever
use
that
docking thing.
the Microsoft
That
Labs
yeah,
thing
that
where you
Labs
can...
thing. That thing's
your
cool
mouse
as hell,
can go
though.
right from your fucking PC to
Yeah.
a different machine, and it's all like one contiguous desktop.
It's really
fucking-
bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they give us all laptops at work. I got a fucking shitty Mac that I work on. But I got like a 26-inch monitor next to it that I will say the thing about the Mac, dude, is the Retina display. Oh my god. Like when you're dealing with fonts at like certain I don't even like other monitors anymore because that shit is just bananas, dude.
You get spoiled.
Yeah, Retina's dope. All laptop people need to fucking get on that bandwagon as soon as possible.
Yes. All right, I think I'm pretty good on my side. If you're good on yours, you just let me know when we're ready to rock. How many people we got in here?
23.
That's not bad. Not bad to start. Considering we haven't started anything yet. What do you have us playing on Twitch?
WildStar.
Oh, nice. Of course. It's our
Really?
favorite game.
No, fucking tanks.
We've logged more hours of WildStar
than any man
actual
ever.
people.
Yes, exactly. The devs are like, dude, when did you guys get in this beta? Like, we didn't.
Yeah, we just rock it all the time.
We should do Battlefield 4 is probably what we should do.
Well, but see, then we get lost among... You need to pick something that has enough to be on the Xbox, but not so much that...
No, it's because they've shut down...
You're not high enough in the streams.
It's because they've shut down Battlefield 4 streams, so when people see them, they're like, oh my God! So they all flock to it. They're like, oh, what the fuck is this shit?
It's weird they shut them down. Well, I guess technically it's not out yet.
Because it's not out yet, yeah. So they don't have time, but soon. Soon. All right, let's start this bitch.
All right, let's do this up. If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 15. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert, my friend?
Not much. Hanging out, doing the thing, drinking a little rum, doing a nice little show with you. What about
Nice.
you?
How was your weekend?
It's pretty good. It could always be longer, is my new thing.
Yeah.
I need some longer weekends. I might go on another vacation soon. I'm not sure. What about
Vacations are pro.
They are pro.
Yeah, my weekend was too long. So Friday afternoon, I flew down to Florida.
You did?
To my parents' house.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Took one of their cars that they were moving up here to Massachusetts. And so I got there at like 9 at night, had a quick dinner, went to bed at 11:30, super early because I was getting up early. Left there at 6, and I drove until from 6 in the morning till 6 p.m., stopped in North Carolina at Tiff's parents' house, had some dinner there, watched a Red Sox game, crashed out, got up the next morning at 6 and made the other 13-hour drive up here to Boston. So
how long of a drive was that total?
25 hours. It would have been 24, but there was some traffic on the Mass Pike. It was just the wrong time of day to be coming through. Like that Sunday, like people are coming back from vacation time. But
was that you solo?
Yeah, it was I soloed that shit, dude. Soloed that boss.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it was fucked up. That's the longest I've ever driven, and it's not fun.
No. Solo, that's not fun. I mean, I get like lightheaded when I'm just like by myself and I'm just zoning out. I'm one of those dudes where like especially at night when it's just me like looking at the road and it's like one fucking when you're going to like Midwest out to California and it's literally one fucking road for like 30 hours. I'm like, I start seeing shit, UFOs. It's insane. I can't do it. I hate it.
Yeah, I was getting punchy. I was just laughing at nothing. Like I was just losing my shit.
That's what I'm saying. Do you go like it's like fucking cabin fever? You just start like talking to yourself and like I don't know. Things get weird.
Yeah,
it's like Deliverance.
It's a lot of driving, so yeah. I don't recommend that to anyone. That is far too much driving. And G40 in chat's asking where I was in the Statesville area of North Carolina, but I obviously cruised through a whole chunk of North Carolina. I came through over the border by Carowinds, the amusement park right over the border in South Carolina, shot up to Statesville, crashed there, and then next morning, 6 a.m., bright and early, hit the road. So Not fun. And now we're here doing a show. That's why I have these big bags under my eyes.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment.
My brother's like, wow, you look like shit. And I was like, oh, I know. It is what it is. But I guess on that, why don't we hop into the actual show? We'll start with feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Polly D comments, holy shitballs, Batman. I tuned in this week's episode and saw Rocket Bros in the title again. Thanks for making me famous. I guess that's one type of fame.
It's the
but
best
yes,
type
Pauly
of
D,
fame.
your Rocket Bros really has caught on, and actually, I'll just segue right into the next thing. After we talked last week about, I think it was in the after show where we kind of went off on the Rocket Bros for a good 5 to 10 minutes. We were talking about maybe having a image of us on a rocket and being bros, like Rocket Bros, the play on words. And I always want to say Siri and Orion, but he corrected us at some point. I think it's Kieran Orion.
Yeah, I think it's Kieran.
Yes, we're gonna call him Siri and Orion because that's cooler. Makes him sound like he's got some cereal going on. But there we are on a rocket. That's you with the WoW shirt.
The WoW
apparently.
shirt, yeah.
I can tell it's you because of the glasses.
Right.
And there's me, who I look more like Walt from Comic Book
You
Man.
do look Walt
but,
from Comic Book Man.
but I'm wearing the Tool to Play shirt, which is obviously my thing. But we do appreciate the comic, and it took less than a day from when the show posted to when that showed up.
So if you want to see the post, I mean, if you're not watching this live right now, it is streaming live, but make sure you watch the video when it comes out because we got it up right now. Looks fantastic, right?
Yes, yep.
Some quick turnaround time. It's a quality rocket, bro.
Rocking it, bros.
It's a quality rocket, bro.
Yes.
Wow.
And there we are, riding the back. That's fucking nuts.
That is fucking nuts.
That's the quick turnaround we get from our fans on this show.
That's fame right there. That's the fame he was going for. There you go. Congratulations, you're famous.
So thanks again, Kieran Orion. And Slaver comments. I hadn't heard about the Xbox One headset adapter story until watching your show. Thanks for ruining for me, but great show. And for those of you who don't know, last week we covered the story where the little headset adapter that Microsoft was making was not ready. Not only not for Microsoft to sell, but not for their partners that have announced Xbox One friendly headsets like our friends over at Turtle Beach. So out of the gate, everybody's fucked. And that news was breaking just before we did the show.
Yeah.
So if you watched us live, then you got that news fairly fresh. If you watched us on YouTube or the podcast, it was a couple days late, but maybe this is your only source of news, which that would be scary. Not that we're not a good news source.
We are the news source.
We are.
I'm stating that right now, but it's not true. So please don't get your news from us.
Yeah. If you do, it's more for the delivery, not the content.
Right.
All right. And Acid Snow comments. And this was based on last week's show. We had a question about game backlogs and if you were going to try to buy less games for the next-gen consoles. Acid Snow says, I joined Steam back around 2007 because I bought a laptop and thought it could play Counter-Strike Source, but it couldn't. So I never used Steam. But then in 2011, I got a desktop PC, and 2 years later, now I have 23 games installed, and 5 of them I've only just adjusted the video settings, let alone putting 10 minutes in the majority of the rest. I've only beaten 4 of the games and find myself most playing Dota 2.
Yeah, nice.
Steam vacuums my wallet, but I don't really care. And that seems to be the general consensus with most people. Like, we all own so many more games on Steam than we play just because they make them cheap and they make it easy to buy. And the problem is not only are they cheap, but when you get them cheap, you have to buy a whole bunch of them at a time. And
right.
Who's going to sit down and play like, I just got 10 new games. I'm going to play 15 minutes of each today to see which one's the best. No, nobody fucking does that.
Sometimes you don't play any of them. You're just like, I just want all these 15 games because they're $30 for all 15.
I
Let's
might get
do
back
it.
to this some other time.
Right.
Yeah.
You never do.
I got to take advantage of the sale while it's on.
Yeah. No, that's the allure. And like you said, also easy to buy is the other part. And I think hopefully Microsoft will find this later on. It's just really easy. You're sitting in your boxers. You see like a sale. One click. Your credit card's already hooked up. You're just like click, 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 click. Before you know it, you're poor and you're living on the streets, but you got a lot of Steam games that you don't play.
And your hard drive filled itself while you were not even near your computer.
Right.
You're like, holy shit, why do I only have all these warnings from Windows that I got 5% disk left? And it's, oh yeah, I just downloaded like 30 gigs of games for $5. So yeah, it's a good beast. And I anticipate doing the same thing in the future, especially once the next gen consoles come out. I'm not going to be playing anything on the PC, but I'm still going to keep buying stuff.
Wow.
That's how I keep this economy rolling.
Yeah, you're there. You're keeping the man alive.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Good job.
Somebody's got to feed Gabe.
Exactly. Or nobody ever.
Gabe needs a lot of food.
Gabe,
in case you don't know Gabe
to
Newell,
sustain the mass, the man's got to actually keep consuming. Yeah, that's fair. Good job.
Yeah. All right. Well, if any of you feedback, you can give us a call 773-527-2961. Email us podcast@tooltoplay.com. And in site-related news, we still have all of the behind-the-scenes stuff going with the next iteration of Tool to Play, but we're not going to say anything about that until we have something to tell you concretely.
Yes.
Other than that, I have no major Tool to Play site news.
No, just head on over to the forums and get involved with the discussion over there. We're still really breaking down exactly how we want the new site to be, what we think we need. We're talking about the mobile initiative, all those cool things. And if you you enjoy trolls and you enjoy anger and you enjoy frustration, that's another reason to go over there. We've got actually guys that are coming back to it, back to the site just to tell us how much they hate the current iteration of the site, which I love. I love it all.
Just to troll us.
Just troll it all day. Bring it in. No big deal.
That's how it's done.
Comes right off the shoulders. Yeah. Head on over there.
That's a good time.
Yeah, we need the feedback, good or bad.
Yeah, that's the only way we know what people want
Yep.
and what to ignore.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
Yes. All right, on that, why don't we hammer into what we're playing? Joel, Jude, I Rock, Albert, what have you been playing this week?
Obviously, the Warcraft is still going on, but I'm at the end of this expansion. It's finally coming to an end. And also, Blizzard's big, giant event where they announce all the other crap that they're going to do for the next 6 years is in a couple weeks as well. So my time with Blizzard is coming to an end, but I'm sure that's going to, coming with these new announcements, I'm sure I'll be right back in the bandwagon. It might be pandas. It could be some elves. I don't know. They'll say something and I'll be like, sure, I'll try the expansion. And then you won't see me again for another year or two. So that'll
be sad.
It's sad. It's sad. But we do have an Xbox coming. Lord knows they could finally pull me back in the living room away from my PC. It's possible, but it's not likely. We'll see.
Oh, bullshit. We'll be playing Ghosts before you
We will be playing. Well, I know. I will not buy Call of Duty. No. Call of Duty. I didn't buy the last iteration. It is no longer. They will never get any of my money ever again. It's a piece of shit game. Not buying it.
Nope. That's our launch FPS.
I will see you in Battlefield 4.
Battlefield?
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
So sad.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. What about you? Are you still playing your Diablo? Still, you're on the Blizzard bandwagon too. What am I talking about?
Well, mine's different though. Mine's the casual.
Right, I bet you've logged more hours than I have. I play 2 hours a week. What have you logged so far this week in Diablo? Be honest.
Well, this week I was away for a couple days doing drive, so I would say this week I only probably put in 15 to 20 hours of Diablo.
So that's
now Tiff
quintuple. Yeah, she's like addicted.
While I was gone, she did some amazing power leveling. And
you should just I want to throw Tiff.
Put 2 12-hour days.
I want to throw Tiff into WoW just to see if she'll get addicted to WoW as well. Give her a night elf or something or a panda and see. I just want to see.
Oh no, she that would not be good. It's one thing to have an RPG that you can save and walk away from. It's having the persistence of a MMORPG just makes it not a good thing.
It's not good.
It's not healthy. If I got back in, I have that addictive personality where I would be fucked.
Yeah, you can't. I know you. You can't come anywhere near WoW. This is bad.
Yeah, once I got my escape velocity and I broke free, that was a good feeling.
Yeah, you were good. You were free. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we slide in the new releases? We got a couple big new releases out this week. First new release is a multi-platform release, and it's Battlefield 4. And this is out for the 360, the PS3, and the PC. And in a few weeks, it'll be out for the PS4 and the Xbox One. This is the latest and greatest in EA's Battlefield series. It's the first Battlefield game that actually features a single-player campaign. That we have not had that before. There's a bunch of gameplay changes and enhancements that have been made based on player feedback from the previous Battlefield games, including the marking targets thing. We saw a little bit of that at E3. Remember that, Jay?
Yeah, the marking targets thing is pretty cool.
So you mark a target for your squad, you can have different targets. It's so you can be like, all right, this bunch of us will go hit this one that I marked. The other bunch will go over here. We'll coordinate around. We'll come meet at the third one. So it really helps with the squad-based kind of just gameplay, because it's such a huge game now that you kind of need this to work through. And it also features the much anticipated return of Commander mode, which we haven't seen since Battlefield 2. The game looks amazing. We played it at E3 and it was fucking awesome. And it's going to be 64 players on Xbox One, on PS4 and PC, which is huge for Battlefield, huge for console games in general. Now we're finally at the point where consoles are handling the same amount of network data as the PC world. And I don't know what because I never thought it was the graphics power or the CPU power of the previous consoles that prevented this. It was something with the network infrastructure or not having dedicated servers or something to that effect. But to go to 64 players is just going to be awesome. There's no early reviews out for it yet, but knowing what we know, I'm assuming this thing is going to be high nines and probably a couple perfect scores. But
Yeah, what they're saying. I mean, obviously it's preliminary, but I've seen a couple of the pre-reviews and they're actually saying this is finally going to dethrone Call of Duty. I don't think that's possible, just because of the reach that Call of Duty has. I fucking hate Call of Duty, so that would be great if that did happen. I think Call of Duty is a piece of shit. I think they should stop making them immediately. I think only fucking shitty, batty, horrible gamers play that piece of shit fucking crap game. But hearing those reviews is good. That's a good symbol or sign, if you will, that maybe we're starting to get out of the Call of Duty Modern War deal and moving into something else. I like DICE. I like them as a company. I don't like EA, so there's a weird sort of dichotomy there with me. I always think they try to do the best for their gamers. But at the end of the day, EA does, do a lot of the publishing, so you get some of the sticky stuff we've seen in the past with how you leveled up in Battlefield 3 with weapons and stuff like that. It wasn't always the best thing in the world. You had severe disadvantages at times based on what weapon you got. But they've pulled a lot of that stuff out of this iteration. Obviously one of the next-gen games coming up against the one and only Call of Duty. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm really excited. It'll be cool to see this hit first and to see how Call of Duty comes in on that once we've sort of got a base, because that's the one thing with these shooters. People, I feel like you get this game. I almost wish Battlefield was after Call of Duty, because it's all about what hits next. And Call of Duty's gonna hit, and it's gonna be a week, and you're gonna be like, bored, strike Call of Duty, and then do you ever go back?
I don't know. I think these are all coming out close enough to each other that people are pre-deciding. It's like the same people that are not buying it for last gen consoles right now because they know in 3 weeks they've got it next gen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I hope it does well. I like the series. Since I was a wee lad, Battlefield back in the day was what I would play on the PC. Battlefield was one of my first FPSs, unless you're talking GoldenEye Council. Then I was all over that shit too. But still, it's one of my first FPSs, Unreal Tournament and all those things on the PC that I used to play. So I'm a huge fan of the series, and we played it at E3. We've played a lot of people have been playing the beta. Pretty good things so far, they've said. Not a lot of bad, so it's looking pretty good. It's looking good.
Awesome. All right, well, the next new release out is also a multi-platform release, and it's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and this is out for the 360, the PS3, the Wii U, and in a couple weeks, the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yay.
This is the 6th game in Ubisoft's super popular Assassin's Creed series. The modern storyline, basically for those of you that don't know the game, there's kind of this current storyline where your character jumps into his previous lineage of family and kind of controls them or lives through them for a while. So there's the current modern storyline and there's the historical storyline. So the modern storyline is a direct sequel to Assassin's Creed 3, and the historical one is a prequel that's now set in the Caribbean and obviously pirate times. It expands more on the ship-to-ship combat stuff that was introduced in Assassin's Creed 3, but builds far above that. It has land battles, it has sea stuff, it has underwater missions. It's also less structured than the previous games. The previous Assassin's Creed games are all fairly linear, and if you got stuck on something, which is why I stopped playing AC3, you were just fucked. So this is more an open world type game with still the storyline progresses, but you're not kind of steered into those alleyways to make sure you're following the structure of the story directly. Multiplayer will return, but it's not going to be using ships. It's only going to be walking around with your characters, land-based, if you will, only. There's no review scores out for this yet either, but I'm sure these are going to be badass as well because people fucking eat up Assassin's Creed, and this is just that taking it to the next level.
You like Assassin's Creed? Be honest with me right now. Do you like it?
I would like it if I was better at it.
That's good. I think that's fair. I think they released too many of these too soon. This is my thing. I feel like
they did for a while, and they were very repetitive at the beginning. There
Right?
was only really 4 or 5 quest types that you just repeated over and over and over. And starting with Assassin's Creed 3, I really felt
like they kicked it up a notch.
They changed it up, and every quest felt different. And that was the problem. Is like the other games, I didn't mind stopping playing. This one, I got stuck on this one, and it's just I couldn't do it without getting caught every single time. And I was like, oh my god, like I just want to play past this because everything is so different all the time. Like, I just want to see what's next. And I must have put a good 8 hours into the thing I was stuck on, and I was like, fuck it.
That's, see, with me, I don't even get as far as you. It's either the fact that I have the attention span of a gnat, which I have found that have been the case with video games lately. I play it for 5 minutes and I'm like, I'm bored, I'm out. But with Assassin's Creed, it never put me in the seat and never really like got me going where I was like, I can't wait to see what's next, or I need to play through this mission. And because they keep releasing the game so quick, I don't even like finish the first game, and then there's 3 more games I didn't even play. I just feel like I agree with you. I think they have taken their time and they finally have, started doing iterations beyond what they originally did. But at this point in time within the series, they've already lost me as a customer in the IP. But it doesn't mean this game doesn't look good. I mean, it does look good, but I just feel like, I don't know, man.
It was also nice of them completely rebooting out of the time periods that they were always in. Like, that was part of what I loved about Assassin's Creed 3 was it was set fucking here in Boston, and it was like fucking American Revolution. This is fucking the shit. I know where that building is. I know that. And it was an entirely different thing instead of being like that constant fucking old school, like, I don't even know what you call that time, the Da Vinci time period, if you will. I don't even know what that's called. But, and now taking the Caribbean and having all these islands and doing the piratey shit, that's cool. And you have to, I'm sure you've seen the commercials on TV, and it looks
for sure. It looks great. Tits. No, I mean, it looks like a great game. I think Ubisoft always comes out with great things. And again, I don't think it's ever been bad per se. It's just that sometimes when I know there's a fine line, and Blizzard has talked about this, and a lot of other game companies have talked about this, EA even as well, where it's like, how much content do you give the user until they're like not sick of the content, but like they have yet to consume it. There's this weird fine line with consumers where it's like, we want more content now. I want new maps for Halo. I want blah, blah, blah. But it turns out if you give them those maps or you give them that content, they actually are like, whoa, that's too much content. I have not even finished looking around this map. I just
all this stuff.
Right. So it's like, and Assassin's Creed seems to like hit that mark a lot where it's like, I want it. Yes, I love it. It's a great game, but like, can you wait a minute? Can you just wait a minute? I don't know. But no, it looks great. I hope that people enjoyed it. It looks like they finally iterating well and taking the game somewhere else. So that's cool. So we'll see what happens with it. Yep. Looks good.
All right. Well, the last new release out this week is also a multi-platform release, and it's out for the 360 and the PS3, and it's WWE 2K14. This is the first 2K WWE game since 2K bought out the license during THQ's bankruptcy problems. And it is a sequel to essentially WWE 13, but it's obviously an entirely different game. Most of the engine and everything else has been redone. Brand new dev team working on it. They took over the work that was passed on, and they brought all these new guys in. They rebuilt gameplay improvements. They rebuilt menu systems and stuff to make it feel more 2K-ish. And they pretty much got their hands dirty on everything in the game. So it's really, despite it being a sequel, it's a brand new WWE game. In addition to the normal multiplayer modes, 2K is introducing a single-player campaign called 30 Years of WrestleMania. So instead of just your conventional wrestling, what happens is they took 46 historical bouts from various WrestleManias over the past 30 years. And in addition to the normal gameplay where like you have your various moves and you're grabbing and flimming and body slams and all that shit, but those also have some quick time events in them to make them, it feels dirty to say, but historically accurate. So like if there was some WrestleMania where, it ended by some guy taking a chair and snapping it in half and then stabbing another guy with it, like that would be a quick time event to end that match the same way. So you're trying to play through and have the same historic result that occurred in WrestleMania. I could really give two fucks about wrestling. Like I'm not a little kid anymore, and I know it's fake and it seems like the world's worst soap opera for guys. But I'd like to see 2K do well with this. This was something that, as part of THQ's demise, they really stepped up. They picked up this license. They tried to do right by fans of the franchise, and it builds good blood for 2K. Because there are people out there. There's a bunch. I see them on my fucking Facebook feed, my Twitter feed. I don't know who these people are or why they fucking even care, but they're into wrestling for some fucking reason. And 2K is building good blood with those guys. And when it comes time to get another game, maybe they're like, hey, you know what? I like that WWE 2K14. Maybe I'll pick up this soccer game that Drake loves or something to that effect. So early reviews been in the 8s and 9s, so it seems to be doing okay. But yeah, not for me.
Yeah, not for me either. I mean, I haven't played any of these games in years since they've been coming out. But if you got, teens or kids that are maybe even younger than teens, I don't even know where that age range lies anymore with WWE. I mean, I think when I was younger, I think well before, sixth grade or
yeah,
something.
I feel it was like
you know what
8
I mean?
to 12,
Yeah,
maybe 8 to
12
10.
sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's still really fun. I'm glad they're keeping it up, and WWE, or as I like to call it, WWF, has always been really kind of a fun thing. Like if you were a kid or whatever. So it's a cool game. All these they're doing really cool things, and we always see like an iteration at E3 every time we go, and you see it, and you're like, whoa, they're doing this now. I don't care, but that's great. So that's kind of how I feel about this. Really, really cool, but I'll never buy it. But keep it going.
All right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right, well, on that, why don't we hammer into gaming news? First story!
Blizzard details Myriam Artisan abilities in Reaper of Souls, which is the next expansion, if you will, for, we'll call it Derek's game, Diablo 3. It's his game. It's not my game. Blizzard has detailed Myriam Jazria, I guess if you want to learn how to pronounce that, I don't know. The new artisan that will help Demon Slayers rough up their prey in the upcoming Diablo 3 expansion, Reaper of Souls. And you'll actually hear more about this when they do their little deal at I think it's end of November is BlizzCon, I believe. I don't know. So keep your ear to the ground for that. Myriam is a mystic, and shortly after players save her in Westmarch, she will offer 2 new services, and these are part of the expansion abilities. One of it, which is the property-altering enchanting, a la WoW, and the appearance-oriented transmogrification, a la WoW. Enchanting will allow players to pick up unfavorable properties on rare or legendary items and then re-roll them to potentially improve them. So let's say you get something and you want more agility or more strength on it. You have the ability to re-roll through her and try to get more of the stat that you're looking for out of that potential weapon, armor, whatever. The post notes that not all properties, however, can be re-rolled, but most can, and players will be able to re-roll those as many times as they like by paying the cost. So there's a cost, and in Warcraft, it's an enchanting mat. We don't know what it is yet in Diablo, but you'd pay the enchanting mats. You can enchant your weapon or whatever, and you'd get a stat for it, et cetera, et cetera. So, if you're not into this, kind of going to be kind of boring, so we apologize. But Derek's super into it, so we're doing it anyway. Transmogrification will leave properties as they are and instead serve as a way to change just the appearance of the weapons or armor. The Battle.net post states that all items with visual appearance are planned for compatibility with the transmogrification service, so long as the desired appearance has been unlocked. Keep in mind that the item appearances unlocked in normal mode will be separate from what you gather in hard mode or any of the other modes. So if you've been playing Warcraft or any other Blizzard game, because they like to do these things, transmog is basically you have a sword that you think looks really, really cool, but the stats are shit, and you get a sword that has really great stats, but it looks like shit. Merge those together, now you have a really cool sword that has awesome stats. So step-by-step procedures for using either option are written in full on Battle.net. Detailing the character, but the gist of it is that you'll need to visit her cart to have either service perform. So you find her in the game, you talk to her, and you get to do these things. You can also check out the concept art of the cart and how she will look. She has giant boobies. That seems to be what Blizzard is going with. They're like, yeah, let's give her ridiculously sized boobs so it looks like she'll fall over. That's what we're getting right now. So what do you think about this? Cool? I mean, they're obviously taking everything from Warcraft and they're bringing it over to Diablo. And it's worked in WoW, so I mean, what do you think?
I think parts of this are cool. The transmogrification is definitely not something that I'm really bending over backwards for. But the re-enchanting part where you can pick, like sometimes you get a weapon and all the stats are awesome except for like you need int and it's got dexterity or something else. So just re-rolling that one piece, that'd be kind of a cool thing. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of it. It has not yet been announced for the Xbox One or last gen consoles.
Yeah.
It has been announced for PS4.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Very well. And I remember at E3 they showed it on a PS4 only when they were doing the demos. They didn't have it on an Xbox One back then either. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it, some exclusivity. I don't know. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, not a lot of information on that, but I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I mean, they're taking a lot of the WoW stuff that worked. It's smart. You take the stuff that works in one game, bring it to the other. Sometimes it works. Like the AH, that did not work from Warcraft, so that is a bad thing. But some things do work. So yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, next story. Sony hedging on one of its major PS4 launch features. Cutting it out. This is interesting, though. So Sony has announced that one of its major features for its next-gen console, the PS4, will not be available at launch. The suspend/resume mode is now expected to arrive via system update sometime after its November 15th release date. This feature is meant to allow players to put their games in a low-power standby mode and be brought back at will. It was one of the cool things they actually showed at E3 that people were all cheering for. So,
Yeah.
Another interesting note in the announcement from Sony was the revelation that the Blu-ray and DVD playback would require internet connection for first-time use. Now, again, if you want to go back to E3 and talk about when they were slinging mud at the our fans, or not our fans, the people we love, which is Microsoft, they were dissing them, saying, always on, that's for bitches. And it turns out you will have to have it, the one-time requirement as well, just like the Xbox. However, a detailed PlayStation blog update on the launch update does note that the majority of other vaunted features, including the remote play, which was really cool, second screen, gameplay, broadcast, and streaming, and play as you download, are all included at launch, which is pretty cool. Sony has also said that it will provide a more complete breakdown of which features will not and will be available at launch, as well as information about day one system updates. By the way, this just broke while Derek was writing this. It turns out you will, in fact, and again, you're watching this live right now, you will, in fact, have to download a 300 plus megabyte download the day you get your Sony PS4. So as you plug it in, before you can play, you must download a feature update for the PS4, which is coming in at a pretty hefty, 300 megabytes isn't that bad, but a decent size update for the system. So I don't know. Does it count as a feature if you don't have it when you launch? It's not a launch feature technically, is it? I don't know. What do you think?
It's this is fucked up. So Sony comes out of the gate. They promise the moon, and then they're like, you know what? We have a rocket that'll take you to the moon later, but we don't have. So I feel like it's kind of the opposite thing Microsoft's been doing. Microsoft has just been like, okay, we promised this when we announced the console, and they just keep adding to it. They add, they add. Sony's like, hey, we promised you this. That's why we're better than Xbox. And then they just take away. They say, this is coming later. And I don't know. It's just really disappointing, but it is what it is. And they say that the feature's going to come at some future date. It's sad that that's the way they're competing here versus and don't get me wrong. We got a PS4 coming. We got a couple Xbox Ones coming. So it's not like it's fanboyism. It's just, it seems to be typical Sony where they overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, I have to agree. Again, I agree with you too. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. First of all, the resume suspend isn't the biggest feature that I was looking forward to. A lot of the ones they did say they were going to have, they do have. Even with the 300 megabyte download that they talked about, a lot of people were freaking out about that. This is something that just broke, but they also even said you can still play all the games day one without using this or without doing the 300 megabyte update. But again, you're gonna miss out on features. Those features won't be available to you until you do that download, which is fine. But yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of these shots that were fired over the bow of Microsoft turn out to not really all be there. And there's not the validity of a lot of what they're saying isn't like totally factual. It's very murky and it's kind of there. It'll be there in a couple months. So, at least with Microsoft, like you said, they'll be like, oh, and we're going to give you a blowjob after the first day. And you're like, wow, that wasn't even a part of the package. Thank you.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus. Yes. It's just a bonus. And then where Sony's like, you go with the girl, she's like, I'm going to blow you after dinner. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then she's like, by after dinner, I meant after some dinner in the future that we have, not this dinner.
I'm tired right now.
I'm
tired right now.
Yeah.
But I promised you, you'll get it. You'll get it.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's coming. Exactly.
And that's how Sony keeps you hanging on the hook like a shitty girlfriend.
Yeah. Whereas Microsoft, it's called the X-Bone. It is there to just give you all the shit you want. It's ready to fuck the day you get it. Sign me up.
Oh, first date? We don't even need to go on a date. Let's just fuck now.
Yeah, first date. You don't even have to get me in the car. We'll do it in the garage. Let's do this.
Yep. Right in the hood.
All right. Next story. Pocket $200 for your old game console with new Alienware purchases. This is via joystick. It's difficult to put a price on 7 years of memories that you've shared with your 60 gigabyte PS3, but Alienware if they had to take a guess, would say that all that mushy emotional investment is worth about $200 in cold hard cash. Alienware is offering a trade-in program that now includes game consoles, offering $200 for the Wii, the 250GB Xbox Slim, the 60GB PS3 Fat, and the 120GB PS3 Slim, and of course the 500GB PS3 Super Slim when you buy any new Alienware system. So obviously you have to buy something from that in order to get the money, but still money that you probably wouldn't get anywhere else on the planet. Certainly not $200. Consoles have to be fully functional and complete with power adapters. To receive the cash, first buy a new Alienware PC, then print out the prepaid shipping label via the Trade Up portal and send in your console. Once it's verified, you wait 40 days and they give you the cash money. Alienware ran a similar trade-in program in 2007, offering cash for everything from MP3 players to PCs and all that other crap. With the Steam machines that are on their way, a shiny new computer could be the way to go for the unimpressed or uninterested in the major next-gen offerings. So what do you think about this? Seems like a no-brainer, really.
I think it's a great deal because obviously trade-in values for consoles at retailers are going to be horrible. So if somebody really is, even if you are committing to next-gen and you say, you know what, I'm an Xbox guy, I have an Xbox, I'm getting an Xbox One, and I'm never going to play this old Xbox again. Well, you're going to get shit for that at GameStop or wherever else you go. So you know what? Maybe it's just coincidentally, you also need a new PC. So now you're at least getting something out of that versus nothing. Maybe you got a couple old consoles you want to apply to it. It doesn't matter. So I just think it's a great deal. I think Alienware is capitalizing on the next gen. They're saying, hey, you know what? You may be getting something else next gen. You may not be getting that. And you might want our thing. But we're in the same ballpark. We make a high end thing. They make a high-end console experience. We make a high-end PC experience. Maybe you want both. Maybe you're getting one or the other. But you know what? If you have an old console, we'll take it and we'll give you some money for it and decent money for it. So I think it's
really, yeah, I think it's really good money. In fact, I mean, the one thing that G40 said, I think people have to take into context, which is Alienwares are not known for their thriftiness or their cheapiness. They're fucking expensive. So you are paying a premium usually for an Alienware, but they're usually extremely solidly built. They have fantastic warranties. They were bought out by Dell a little bit, so the customer service could be here nor there. But I mean, for the most part, they're still really high quality systems. So the $200 that you're actually getting is probably going to be, a brand fee. Where if you could probably build the same machine for $200 less if you built it yourself. So there's a value there. But if you're lazy and you got a system anyway, and you're like, what am I going to do with this Xbox? I certainly am not going to be playing my Xbox 360. I have two of them. So, if I was going to buy a system just on laziness alone, it might be a good reason enough to.
It doesn't necessarily have to be laziness. Like if you're buying a laptop, you cannot go build a laptop yourself. You want a high-end gaming laptop? You have maybe 5 different places to go for that. And to save $200 on a high-end gaming laptop is a huge savings.
Those are notoriously expensive pieces of equipment, and you're right, you can't build one. So, I mean, it's a good value. It's like free money. It's money you're not going to get. You're not going to go to GameStop and get that money. You're certainly probably not even going to get it selling it, on Craigslist or something. I don't know if I can even get $200 for my system right now.
No, because you can go over today. You can go over to fucking on Amazon. You can get the Xbox 360 Slim, like that one we saw at E3.
Right. Yeah.
Like the new Slim, the Xbox 360e, I guess it's called. You can get that with Kinect, Forza Horizon download, and another game packed in for like $249, $239. So if you're buying a brand new one for $239 and they're giving you $200 for your 7-year-old one, fucking take them up on it.
Take the money.
That's the best deal you can find. Hell, you could go, like, if you just didn't have any console, you want to tide yourself over, and you were buying a new PC anyway, go buy this thing today, $239. You sell it, you paid $40 to rent it for 3 weeks.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal.
Not bad at all.
All right, on a stranger note, let's get into the WTF. 12-year-old hacker traded secrets for video games. A 12-year-old, yes, 12. Everyone is smarter than me at the age of 12 at this point when it comes to programming. It makes me sad. A 12-year-old Canadian boy reportedly is the mastermind behind a hack that brought down government websites during the 2012 Quebec student protests. This is according to RT. The unnamed fifth grader managed to take down multiple Canadian government websites, including the Quebec Institute of Public Health and even the Chilean government site. His targets were down for several days, according to reports, even as police clashed with college students in the streets over tuition hikes in the 2012 protest. Reports also indicate that the 12-year-old boy managed to lift some information from the sites, which he then reportedly traded to hacktivist collection groups Anonymous in exchange for video games, according to several sources. Police claimed in the Canadian court on Thursday that the boy caused an estimated $60,000 in damage. Pretty good for a 12-year-old. The lawyer representing the boy, who appeared with his father to face charges, said his actions were not politically motivated, as though a 12-year-old would even have some political... If he had political motivations at the age of 12, then holy shit. Quote, he saw it as a challenge. He was a 12-year-old, unquote, his lawyer said. There was no political purpose, end quote, as quoted by the Toronto Sun. A police expert testified to the court the boy, who allegedly has been hacking since he was 9, was practicing 3 basic types of attacks, including, of course, the DDoS attack, which is denial of service attacks, which means you basically send a shitload of information to one server until it explodes, or taking over web servers and altering them, and exploiting security holes into database servers. I'm not going to go further, but if you want to read this, head on over there to rt.com. It's an interesting story. What do you think?
You know, the only thing what the fuck you about this is the kid's age. But even then, you have to remember that he's hacking stuff in Canada and he's hacking stuff in Chile. Yeah, like this is like hacking like a Fisher Price radio.
Wow.
These countries are not known for their brains, for their high-end
Canada
tech infrastructure. It's almost, you might as well have just hacked some retards and been like, look, I hacked them. Like, it is so cruel. It's like,
wow.
It's like a hate crime.
It's almost like tripping the one-armed or the one-legged man. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you could accidentally hack Canada, like at an ATM machine. You're up in Montreal at a strip club. You're like, I gotta go to the ATM. Boom, you accidentally hack their fucking Canadian Parliament or whatever they call their fake government up there. So I don't know about that. I guess that's the most what the fucky part about this is that Canada has secrets to be taken. like what the
maybe the 12-year-old was politically motivated, because at that level, at 12, that's really the level of smarts that you're going to get, and that's where it stops. So really, he's hacking at the highest of levels right there.
Yeah, the guys that did the security for the government,
they were already 12. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was just friends from school. They just let him in a back door. That's all it was.
Yeah, let's let this kid come to America. Try to hack our shit, bitch.
Trust me, it'll be pretty easy for him to hack our shit too. But that's a different story.
America.
We need to create graphics for people that are watching the live show. We're just random eagles fly over the screen. Just says America.
That happens in the house here anyway.
I'm sure it does. Happens all day.
That's what it's like here in America.
Eagles all day. Bald eagles too. And we kill them and we eat them because we don't give a fuck, because it's America.
Yeah. Sometimes they have guns.
Sometimes they do have guns. They're all driving Dodge Rams and they're fucking smoking cigars and they've got guns, and there's bald eagles driving Dodge Rams. By the way,
that's what it's like here in America, Canada.
If anyone's watching the show, draw us that shit right now. I want a bald eagle and a Dodge Ram with a fucking shotgun immediately. God damn it.
And a flask, because he's obviously got to hit.
He's got, yeah, of course.
It's his right as an American.
That's right.
Yes. All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop over into the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, twice this week, the launch details of the PS4 have been modified, and as Microsoft has been adding more to the Xbox One, Sony has been taking away from the PS4. How do you think this will affect the opinions of gamers from both factions?
It won't.
No, I think part of this is people are going to be burned. The other one was the game sharing stuff,
right? The sharing
PlayStation,
which they have detailed,
yeah. So they had said like this was going to be this, we're wide open. You share your games. It's all cool. It's like a big hippie commune over here. PlayStation, fuck Microsoft.
Everyone remembers the video where they handed him the disc and it was like, "This is how you share in the PS4."
Yeah. So now they have this elaborate. They got like flow charts and shit. Like you can have one primary console and all these other consoles. The beginning of it is just like it is today with the Xbox 360. Like you buy a downloadable game, and anybody can play it on your primary console. Only you can play it on other consoles if you're logged in. It's basically what Sony stole here. And I don't know. I wish I had this up in front of me, but it was
The flow chart, yeah. No, I saw it. Look, I mean, here's the problem with the question at hand: is will it sway opinion? And I don't think it will, because what happens with the internet and with public opinion, sadly, is people like to latch on to what the guy before him said. No one likes to actually go and do the actual studying themselves or figure out what the fuck is going on. Most of these people have made the purchases already. Most of the hardcore gamers that are like, fuck Microsoft, they don't know. They've already pre-ordered their PS4. They're circle jerking with their friends. They're high-fiving, not washing their hands first. It's totally disgusting. But
no, it's a PlayStation way.
that's the PlayStation way. So they've already made their choice. It's too late at this point. Once they start rolling out, of course, and games start coming out, then yeah. But I think right now, it is what it is. People have pissed all over Microsoft. That's the way of the world. Microsoft's probably used to it by now anyway. They don't give a fuck. And we'll see what happens. But this late in the game, Sony played it right. Like you said, they overpromise, underdeliver. Like, we got hookers and blow. And then you find out the guy who had the blow, he's on vacation. You can't get a hold of him. The hookers aren't there, or they are, but they're like 355 pounds. You don't want to get in on that. So you're just backing away. This is a whole different scenario. But sadly enough, you've already gone to the party. You thought the hookers were going to be there. You couldn't wait to do the blow. There's no one at the party. That's the PS4. You're welcome.
Yeah. They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting
knew.
into. I say, let them crash.
Exactly.
That was a little airplane reference.
No, it's good.
But yes. All right. Well, if any of you have feedback like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. Sponsors. Remember, if you want to sponsor us, you can hit us up. Same number, 773-527-2961. Same email, podcast@tooltoplay.com. Tell us what you want to sell. We'll tell you what you are going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/tool to play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. King of the internet, got it. Everything that's holding me at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me over at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Also hit up our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. You can find this show, every episode, and find episodes of all of Tool to Play's other video programs. We have a lot of stuff out there. We have some one-offs, just some interesting videos that we put out there, and we also have a bunch of series. So, get hooked, get subscribed. Subscription there is key also. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, whether you want to watch it or not, it makes it easier for you to find in the future. So.
Yeah, if we do a new show, I mean, obviously we're always here on Monday nights. We release on Wednesdays, but you'll be notified when you get a new show, whether it's us or someone else. At least you'll know. So do that shit.
Yeah, especially with the amount of content that we have going on the Tool to Play YouTube channel, we might start a new show. And by being a subscriber there, you'll get notified of it instantly without us having to be like, oh, we're launching a new show this week and you should check it out. No, fuck that. Just get notified automatically. Boom, done. All right, please rate and review this podcast in iTunes. We need 5 stars, no less, no more. We would ask for more, but they don't let you. Also, it would be really helpful if you wrote a little something nice about us, maybe our good, striking good looks, or our witty banter, or just that you have nothing better to do. But any of those is fine, really, as long as it comes with 5 stars, right, Jay?
Exactly, or 6, like you said, if we could do it.
Yes,
if you could find a way to do that.
Yeah, if you can hack it, do it.
Hack it. B12.
Definitely, it's tougher than hacking Canada.
Yeah,
but,
it's definitely.
Somebody will figure it out. It's not going to be a 12-year-old, but some legitimate hacker could probably do it. And don't forget, join us each and every Monday night, like Jay said, 7 p.m. Eastern, here, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And every week you can join us live. We have a chat going on. People are contributing to the show in real time. And, we try not to make it seem like we're jumping there. But when Jay's talking, I'm looking. When I'm talking, Jay's looking. We're trying to bring the chat community into the show and get their opinions into into what we talk about during the episode. So if you would like to help steer the show, or there's things that you always wish, oh, I wish they had talked about that. You know what? It doesn't take you that long. Just fucking log on, hop on chat, jump in there and let us know what you're thinking about, what we're talking about. And we will discuss what you're talking about. Like, it's how you can directly influence this program like no other way. Like, you can send in calls, you can send in voicemails, you can send in emails, but direct, instantaneous results from your communication happens here in chat. There's no other way to do it.
It's
I
a
guess you could call my
community.
cell phone, but I'm not going to give you that.
You could call me myself. Yeah, I don't think that's probably not safe.
All right. Well, I guess on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Another show is in the can.
Rocket Bros.
I had to do all I could not to say Rocket Bro.
I know, I understand.
Like I couldn't do anything.
Rocket Bros.
I stuttered. I was like, Rocket Bros. And
It's
wanted
really
to say-
shitty. It's like a guttural response now that your brain doesn't even. You're just like Rocket Bros. Just explodes out.
It's
of
like
you.
the hey now at the beginning. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Rocket Bros. Yeah, I guess it could be an outro.
Hey, Hit, you're here now. Can you do a Rocket Bros animation? Just two bros on a rocket riding through space. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. We like your fractals hit.
We
Don't get
like-
us
we
wrong.
like
It's just
fractals.
fractals have very little to do with video games. But a couple of bros on a rocket. Like you could even steal the art that I paid to have done and just kind of tweak that a little bit, put us on rockets. Like it's out there.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. He refuses. What? The greater good. The greater good is more dudes on rockets.
Yeah, what could possibly be greater good? Like unless he's part of the Fractal Alliance where he's like fractals forever. Like I don't understand what's greater good than that.
Nah, Tip says she'll make it.
Oh, nice.
What huge fight? What fight are you talking about? Oh, to the forum post? Dude, I love that shit. I don't mind any of that stuff. If people got bad things to say or good things, that doesn't bother me at all.
No.
We've had a lot of people hate on us since 2005. That shit does not affect. We're the type of people, I'll tell you this right now, it's kind of a sad thing, unfortunately. We're the type of people where there could be 3 of us left on the website. If we think we're doing it right, we're doing it right.
That's how it started.
That's what it is. It's 3. Hey, guess what? We always meant to have it be only 3 people on the fucking website.
All of a sudden,
that was the
people
point.
found us, and we're like, oh, "Okay, you can come in." And then 30,000 people later, we're like, "All right, you can come in too."
Yeah.
But it's always been what we thought the direction should be, and we've taken input, but
Yeah. No, I mean, like, stuff like, people don't realize, like, stuff like blogs and those things that were developed early on, that was like people like, hey, it would be cool if we had blogs. I think that's cool too. Let's do it. But it doesn't mean that here's the problem is people think that every idea that they have is something I have never thought of and that I'm a fucking idiot and they have the best possible plan. That's not the case. Most of the things I've already thought of or that we've done and they didn't work out. So it's
if you remember, there was a period in, I would say it was like the 2006 time frame where I was a coding machine. If somebody made a suggestion, I fucking implemented it in short time. And we had like our own version of Xbox Live.
Yeah.
We had friend requests and all this other stuff. And I linked into PlayStation and Xfire and Xbox Live. And you were getting custom banners. And literally there was a point where we didn't say no to anything.
Yeah.
And then we realized that, one, I was really busy doing that.
Right.
And 2, that you just can't do everything.
You can't,
But-
and a lot of those features don't get you. Like a lot of the people have said, like, why did some of the features from V2 go away? Well, simply the fact was we saw who used them, and it's like 3 people. And what's the
Or they
point of
didn't
supporting?
scale.
Or they didn't scale. Yeah, those are 2.
Like we had the Google Maps feature for a
Right.
while where I plotted independently on a Google Maps of the United States every member of Tool to Play. And when there was like a couple hundred people, it scaled. And then eventually it was just like this big thing of push pins and you couldn't
Yeah,
see
you couldn't
anything
see
until you zoomed way in. But even that didn't really scale well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like all the suggestions. I just don't respond very well to like, if you've left the site and your big thing is you created a piece of shit and we left because of that, your feedback is really no longer valid to me. And it might sound rude or I don't know. I mean, I apologize if it does sound rude, but realistically, my goal is not to get people to come back to the website. My goal is to make people that enjoy the website enjoy it further and new people to enjoy it right off the bat. I'm not here to like massage egos or make sure that I fucked up and I give you exactly what you want. If you leave, that's fine. There is no subscription to Tool to Play. There's no money. There's no anything. If you want to be on the site, you can. If you don't, fuck you. Get the fuck off. Doesn't matter, right? It just doesn't. It's a
We've had
website.
plenty of people come and go. We have people come, they use us, they find some new people, and they go start their own thing.
Start their
That's
own
fine
thing.
too.
Yeah.
Because now we have a brand new type of people. Like for a while, it was people that were organically looking for clans to play games with. Now we have people coming that are people that listen to the shows, the people that watch shows, and they're coming in from an entirely different route. So we have to kind of work to appease everybody at the same time while doing the core things that we want to do.
Right.
And it's not, we're not going to do whatever it takes to get you back, because you know what, when you were like, I'm fucking this new bitch now, and fuck you guys. And we're like, we were a pretty good old bitch. Like, we had nice tits, we had a little sweet ass. Sometimes we'd give you the ball cupping while we blew you. But you know what? You found some new bitch? Well, stick with your new bitch. Because you know what? She's got fucking Hep C.
Right. Well, and you know, you go to look at these websites that start afterwards, and again, it's just a website. Tool to Play is nothing more than that, right? We're not like trying to save the world. We're not fucking curing cancer or anything. If you create a new version, not yet. If you create a version that's great, then that's fine. That's good. I'm glad you did. But like, again, our jobs are not to create the version that you like the most. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to create what we think, Derek and I think, is the best move for Tool to Play. That's it. And that is, we want people to have fun and talk about video games. It's that simple. We're not trying to make your clan the coolest. We're not trying to give you tons of features for your clan. We're not trying to give you reasons to insulate more. We're done with that shit. And it's Derek and mine's fault. Like he said back in the day, we said yes to everything because we didn't want to make anyone pissed. But what ends up happening is when you say yes to everybody, it turns out that not everyone likes what everyone else likes, and then they end up hating you for it. And it creates a bunch of clans that can no longer recruit because they've become so insular that they won't get new people because
we hate new people.
We hate new people.
We could never bring anyone in.
Yeah,
no one's going to ever be as close as us.
Exactly.
I've known you guys for 3 weeks, and that's forever in my book.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happens. Clans become more and more insular. And I know that people will fight me on this and say that's not the case and blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you talk about any of the clans that have ever left Tool to Play or are, you know, the heavyweights on Tool to Play now, their biggest problem is always they don't. How do they get recruiting new people? They usually do not. There are some that it's working for, and Forza is the best example, but that's because they have an open policy.
You want to play with us? Cool, play with us.
And that's how it should be. You don't create a website based on bringing older gamers together and then say, hey, by the way, once you're together, no one else gets to play with you. That's fucking stupid. We made a huge mistake, and we're done with going that route.
It seemed cool at the time, but then again, so did all that shit we wore in the 80s.
Yes. Exactly.
Popping collars.
I'm still popping collars. I don't care.
Oh, well, that's true.
Well, and partially, too, with us, it was we did that because we had a clan of people that I say this, but like everyone thinks that like their clan is the clan. But like when me and Derek started this, again, Tool to Play was started because me and Derek were friends, and so were 30 other people. And we didn't want anyone else in our clan. So clans started because we didn't want everyone else in our clan. Do it on your own. We'll give you space on the server. You do it. So it's our own fault. So it's fine.
Yeah. They're like, can we play with you guys? Well, you could, but you know what? We're looking. Why don't you start your own clan over there? And
they give you your own forum.
Then we'll do some mixers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That shit doesn't work. I mean, fundamentally, I hate saying this because I don't like being wrong, and I rarely am wrong. But we made a fundamental mistake with clans. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. And that's the part of the problem when you try to help everybody is you make mistakes. But I'm glad that we're done making those mistakes because there was a while where I did nothing but write new features day after day. Yeah. And it was like someone would just mention something in passing and I'd be like, oh, you know what? We could do that. And literally, like I think somewhere in our YouTube channel, there's old versions of like how to use certain features on Tool to Play. Go look at those sometimes. Like I had some insane shit that I wrote at some point. Like, the friends list was one of them. We had, I had like a real time. It was almost like, the Xbox Live where it tells you which friends are online, except it would tell you if your friend was on the Xbox or he's playing a PC game. And it was,
the friends list.
It was pretty cool at the time.
Cool. I like the friends list. It was cool.
Yes.
But not very useful. Again, it's like we did a lot of things just on a whim that didn't really work out very well.
No, I like it now where I don't have to do as much coding.
When you don't do anything?
Every week I'm here. I put out a show. I've been doing it for years and years and years. And you know, with the exception of a couple of vacation weeks and this and that, you know, the show's pretty consistent.
A Blue Steel is mentioned. Remember Tournament Ladder software? We went through like 80 iterations of Tournament Ladder software.
Yeah. The problem is that was the one thing I never wrote.
Nope.
I was going to write it and Jay was like, oh no, I got this.
It's too much
that we're buying.
It was too. No, it's just too much work anyway. Even if you wrote it yourself, it's doing something like that. Again, it's not what the site's about. Like we do a lot of things that just don't relate. Like it's a cool idea, but like, do people really need tournament software? Do people really need friends list management? No. You need a forum. You need good content. You need people to be open and want to talk about video games together. That's all you need.
And now we do more good content than ever. So
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
all right, gentlemen.
Everybody that was here in chat, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us. I don't know how many people we ended up with here at the end of the night, but it was good of all you to join us. That was it's always cool. That's what makes the show excellent, is by having some people here to contribute. And when people don't, they don't get to help the show, but you help the show along. And knowing that Hitman was here, and I really didn't. I realized he was here after I shat all over Canada, but then after that, it made me feel that much better, because I'm sure somewhere deep down inside, Hit wishes he was American.
He does. No, I know he does. Every land when he comes over here, he wonders, should he really go back?
He's like, come on, asylum for me? Asylum for me, eh?
Asylum. Eh?
Come on, eh?
Hit, you don't want
asylum for me, eh?
Really, you don't. People don't like go to Canada to be famous. You know what I'm saying?
No, people go to Canada because they're trying to hide from the law. Or the draft.
Yeah, Hit, you should do a Batman walkthrough. We need a quick hits for Batman. That'd be kind of fun. You should do that.
All right. Do it up, Hit.
Do it up, bitch. I mean, Hit.
Yes.
Hey, bitch.
All right, gang. Guys. Thank you all for joining us, and this will be online on Wednesday.
Yep. Oh, Hit, yeah, do Battlefield 4. That's even better. Nah, you're lame. I can talk about Chad forever. All right. I'm going to get some dinner. I'll see you fuckers later. America. Deep. Later.